Ogre One said they haven't really practiced too much, so it'll be a tough series for them, but it'll give us a good chance to see where they stack up in the whole region.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to give us a little barometer to see whether or not Immunity are going to be, you know, a top 2 team. Are they in the top 4? Can they even squeak into the top 6? I'm sure with the players they've got on that roster, they will be able to. But lads, let's have a look at the maps that we've got so far. Oddball Recharge is going to be the start out here for the Chiefs versus Immunity. And Bluey, this has been a game type that ANZ was kind of criticized a little bit in Raleigh, the fact that it took us so long to be able to pick up the ball, but we've been seeing it change and develop a little bit here in ANZ. Teams are really starting to understand when to play the ball, when to be able to make sure you get those extra round of slays, not really having to play for the 100 points that you need to get the round win, and more about playing around the ball and the power-ups that we've got here on Recharge.
Yep, 100%. Oddball is all about rotations, as you said, something that a lot of the ANZ teams struggle to get a hold of. We even saw in our earlier tournaments, you know, a lot of teams were more so focusing on just slays, but now they're sort of learning to pick up just rotations, literally just juggling the ball around the map to keep it out of the hands and out of a good setup position of the other team. So we're going to see what happens here. Chiefs are really good at playing Recharge, and they're also really good at just being able to deny objectives from other teams. So Immunity have a really tough task to go into here against the Chiefs. For first game Oddball Recharge, like, boy oh boy, you've got no room for error here.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to jump into this series. It is the return of Immunity going up against the Juggernauts in the Chiefs. Let's see who comes out on top.
Yeah, it's winners round number 2, Immunity versus Chiefs. Chiefs are the dominating team in this region. Immunity, they have 0 pro points, but they're coming into pro play, and they're going to try to take down Chiefs right now. What do you reckon, Bluey?
Hoggy, why'd you have to, like, give it to him like that? Like, 0 pro points.
They have 0 pro points.
Yeah, sure. Sure, but these are like all-star talented players. But it's not really helpful when you see 2 go down already on the side of Chiefs.
3 down.
Make that 3 on the side of Immunity. Like, that's really tough, and especially off the break on Recharge, you lose all of your positioning. You lose like everything there that you might have thought that you could set up for. So yeah, really hard position for them to be in. And Madsy just dropping in on Ogre One like that. Look at the confidence.
Nah, 0 pro points, that's a compliment. The fact that they're in this position just shows how good they are. The camo's in the hand of Barcode though, and he does have the pulse rifle as well, and the grapple. Look, he's got all 3. He's trying to help out his Madsy with Barcode. Oh my god, what a shot to take down Voltage. Voltage wasn't even weak, I don't know, and he just managed to hit the headshot. He finds another with Benno. Pipz gets the back smack. 3 down now for the side of Immunity. So Immunity starting out pretty rough, Bluey, with the hands, the charge rifle in the hands of Barcode. It's very rough for Immunity off the bat.
You already see there, just like Ogre One was completely one-shot down in Whirlpool, and he still managed to take out Pipz with 2, amounts of pressure coming from Barcode and Pipz just there. Still managed to get a kill and sort of like weasel his way out. So this isn't to say, we gave him a little bit of a punch around just in that opening break of the game, but there's still a lot of it for Immunity to be able to do here just to get their stuff in order. Pipz and Praties both go down there, which just gives Immunity more time to get their setup, get that rotations in order.
Oh no! Oh no, Madsy's just running around with the sword. He says 0 pro points. Lol, I'm coming in with my sword. But no, the score's only 8 points. There's only 8 points the difference, even though Immunity, the side of Chiefs have sort of dominated the start of this game. Barcode's gone into a challenge with Ogre. He'll back down. But the fact that they've dominated this game, but they're only up by a small margin, I think shows that Immunity are here to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the Immunity team, oh my god. The Immunity team are like, they're no new gooses. They've had plenty of practice together, with Heff, Benno and Voltage playing for well over a decade now. And, Ogre One, such a seasoned player himself, and they've actually been able to get a bit of experience just as a team together. But as you mentioned, like coming before in this tournament, Ogre One did mention to you that they didn't have that much practice coming into it. So maybe they just aren't as warmed up. But that being said, I mentioned in the game before that Recharge Oddball isn't really a map or a game type that you can quote-unquote warm up on. You need to make sure that you have everything nailed down as soon as possible.
Yeah, Praties is stuck 1 shot. He's going to try to stay alive and call out for his teammates. The side of Immunity do have the camo. Voltage gets a double, so they still have ball control. Barcode's going straight into top gold. Voltage doesn't manage to get the kill, though. Pipz is in front of him. Pipz will take down Heff. He'll try to find Pipz. He won't be able to. Pipz is being real sneaky. Voltage trying to stay alive. Madsy gets the call out. He's going to try to take him down. Ogre One gets the kill on the side where Voltage tries to stay alive, and he doesn't. Madsy takes him down.
Ogre One coming in really clutch there just with that backspack, because that pretty much denied a kill and pretty much said that they could retain that bottom mid position and then just start rotating Pipz with the ball, which is exactly what they're doing. But as soon as I'm saying that, they kind of go down in that aspect, and Heff goes down. Now they no longer have that ball control. So Chiefs are going to be able to come in here just as strong as possible, take down the members of Immunity, but we do see Benno just taking a really smart ball play position here. Yeah, really, really smart. Really good from him.
Yeah, the score is only 11 points of difference. He'll jump straight out to find Barcode, gets a melee onto Pipz. Pipz is one shot. Voltage is trying to get him. He whiffs the first nade. The second nade does get him.
Still gets it.
Madsy's running the ball away, and they're going to keep getting some time, even though it's 2 dead for Chiefs. But it looks like Immunity are going to have ball control. They're all over the side of Hydro, and they're going to grab it and try get a setup going.
Yeah.
Swords up in 10 seconds as well.
This is really good because they're only 11 points down, and a Hydro play actually enables you just a lot of time. I'm actually surprised that it took so long for a team to actually get a setup here. It seemed like a lot of people were playing just up top gold and top Pipes, which typically, you know, we mentioned before, Chiefs, when they played at Recharge, they've been looking at this Hydro position as something that they can use like really strongly, and they have. So it's interesting that this wasn't their first option to get a ball set up.
Yeah, it's 3 dead, 4 dead for Immunity, and the ball didn't get played. So this is Chiefs' chance to get a bit of a setup going as the sword will go into the hands of Madsy again. Dude, you do not want the sword in the hands of Madsy. We saw it earlier on. He just runs in. He does not care. He'll go for the sword. He's going to do it again. Now, he does know our players below him. He has the camo as well, so he's going to use that to his advantage. He's dropped down. He gets called out. He's just trying to stay alive. He does turn back around. Ogre One's running away. He knows he's got the sword, and they take him down, so Madsy doesn't get away with it again. It's 2 dead for the side of Chiefs, even though they had the setup Bluey, so Immunity's coming in for this ball, and Praties is going to play it.
Yeah, Praties with the play there means that they don't need to focus on trying to keep that ball alive. They can just slay out for the time being. Ogre One does have this sword, and he does manage to slink away, which I'm actually really surprised at. I thought that there would have been more challenge just for Ogre One's life to get that player side up, but, you know, all the while... he whiffs the sword! All the while...
A little bit of rust.
Yeah, a little bit of rust there. All the while, you know, they actually have managed to take the ball and sort of reset it up at that top gold side. So we're going to see Immunity here, maybe able to make like a good play, but Chiefs are just too strong in their pushes. They're too well coordinated, and Immunity is just making some little mistakes here and there, which are overall just costing them their plays.
Yeah, Madsy will clean up Benno. Ogre One will go down. It's Heff and Voltage left alive for the side of Immunity. Chiefs have a bit of a setup going, and they do have a nice 20-point lead. Maybe they can close it out here.
Yeah, we're going to see what they can manage to do because Immunity did go 3 down just there, but they are 4 up, which means they actually can make a really good strong push. But with Benno going in there like he does and actually managing to stay alive, that's 3 dead on the side of Chiefs. So they may be able to flip it around now. You know, they don't actually have that much ball time to make up in the grand scheme of things in order to get this round tied up.
Yeah, it's just 1-4 down for the side of Immunity, and if they manage to hold it for a second time, that they can stop the push from the Chiefs and they can take this game. Camo's there as well, so Voltage will grab it. This is his chance to grab the Mangler as well, and he does. His teammates take down 1. Barcode has the ball, though. This is not good. There's only 9 seconds left. Ogre One's trying to go in. Voltage is going to have to challenge top middle. He will take down Barcode, but gets the camo back. His teammate grabs the ball. Maybe this is their chance to get a bit of a comeback going, even though Benno is down.
Good pinch coming in there, and that ball pretty much fell right into Heff's hands as he was just sitting on bottom middle, so it enabled them just to rotate C stairs. We do see a double. Is this a triple? It will not be from Voltage, just misses out on it, but overall good play there with the Mangler, with the camo, making sure that they can keep that long haul position with the ball, because as you can see, their time is ticking up. They are making like really good ball time here and actually managing to hold the position really well. You know, we do see members of the Chiefs sort of trickling in one by one, but not really managing to break any setup, and Immunity's just able to sort of counterclockwise rotate here and sort of fall back on the Chiefs, and Chiefs just go 1 down.
2 one-shots in front of Voltage. He'll get 1. Barcode's 1-shot in front of him as well. He does get him as well. So it's 2 down. Praties is coming to his right. He's the last man alive. They know he's there. Praties gets a nade off, but Heff takes him down. Can they get the setup going? They are 20 points off the win. They've done a great job to bring it back as it is. There's only 47 seconds on the clock, and the time is dropping. Ogre One is going to have to challenge Madsy and take him down. Perfect 4-shot. The ball's going to be grabbed by Praties. He'll go down. So the ball is in the hands, though, of the Chiefs. Barcode's got it. There's only 3 seconds left, and they will get the first round. Chiefs take the first round to go up 1-0 against Immunity. But a great showing from Immunity, even considering how the game started, Bluey.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, Immunity absolutely have it in them right now to take this second round there. I think there was a lot of micro adjustments that need to be made there, especially at that end there with Ogre 1 pushing through, getting the 4 and being 1 up. All they needed to do from that point was stop Barcode from holding the ball, but it feels like their vision maybe got a little bit cloudy and they were focusing on too many other things. So I think we did see Barcode just there with the possession of the camo, but he has been dropped instantly, so that means that it's burnt.
Yep, and the ball will get grabbed by Madsy. It was 4 down again for Immunity. So the start of the second round starts the same as the first round, as the Chiefs are going to start racking up some time. Might even want to throw the ball over to Barcode to get him to hold it for a little bit. But Benno will get one. He's going to challenge Madsy. It's Voltage we're on board with. He will get the kill.
Nade.
It's 3 down now for the Chiefs. Barcode, the last man alive, and he gets taken down as well. So ball time for Immunity. This is their chance.
We're seeing a lot of these really good pushes from Immunity where they sort of take 1 kill and then manage to magnify that into having 3 down, you know, and then they don't worry about the last player on the Chiefs side because it doesn't matter for them. They already have 3 down, so they can take the position that Chiefs might have set up from before and start to spin that into ball time for themselves. Like, as you can see now, they are up in ball time a good couple of handful of seconds. So if they can actually manage to escalate that into a little bit more, get some of these really strong setups that they have been showcasing, then they can take this round 2.
Yeah, as soon as they get the setup, though, it gets broken very, very quickly from the side of Chiefs, and they're proving why they are so dominating in this region. But Immunity is trying to show up the best they can. 2 players from Immunity are pushing straight in through Pipz and Gold. The ball is getting rotated. Barcode's trying to stop them from pushing in, but Benno sneaks in. The ball will get played down long. It's 2 dead for either side. Benno's gone in for the melee. He doesn't manage to get it. Ogre 1's the last man alive. He's got Madsy in front of him. He drops down to get the kill, but he'll go down, so it's 3 dead momentarily for Immunity. The ball's back in the hands of Chiefs.
Yeah, now it's going to come to what else are we going to see from this camo play right now, because there is 5 seconds on the camo, and that may prove to be a really important thing here just on these fights and how they're going to go forward, because we are seeing Chiefs right now. They've got about 50 seconds on ball time, and there's about 4 minutes left in the game, but judging by how Immunity's playing right now, they are making good pushes, but they're just not making good ball time. So in the grand scheme of things, they need to actually get a good setup instead of just getting 3 down, sort of keeping the ball where it was before. They need to start focusing on rotating and holding the spawns.
Yeah, definitely. The setups have not worked quite well for them so far this game, but Ogre 1 does have the camo. He's going to try help out Heff. He does. He gets seen, though. The camo eyes are on. He's got a Mangler in hand. Tries to get Praties. He doesn't manage to get him. 2 down for the side of Chiefs, 2 down for the side of Immunity. The ball is down at goal. Praties jumps straight up. It gets killed by Benno. Benno knew exactly where he was going. Heff's 1 shot, trying to back down. Pipz gets a kill. All the players from the Chiefs are down long haul. So Heff has no idea that all of them are here. He's going to push straight through. He's going to run straight into 2. Madsy's there. He repulses him, but it doesn't matter. The melee comes out. It's 2 down for Immunity. The Chiefs are looking pretty strong right now. They're up by 40 points, Bluey.
This might be where we start to see Chiefs focus a little bit more on their objective denial rather than playing for the ball themselves, because there is such a blowout in the time. You know, 40 seconds to hold the ball is like a huge differential, especially when they might have been able to realize that Immunity's not really doing too great with their setups. Will we see, oh my god, Barcode here. How does he win that fight, man? For that long, he's 1 shot and he still manages to take out Ogre 1 like that.
Shots from
Yeah, exactly. He's just hitting more forehead. Yeah, so they maybe just be able to identify that Immunity's not making good setups here, and they're just taking advantage of that and just making the stronger setup.
Yeah, only 25 seconds for the side of Chiefs. Pulse rifle in the hands of Barcode. We saw in the highlights earlier from last week that he puts in work with this weapon. He'll find Benno. Heff gets the perfect flank on Barcode to take him down. Madsy's going to see Voltage in front of him. Voltage will go down as well, so the ball is still in control. Heff's trying to get the kill. He does manage to get it. Can Heff get the play ball, though? That would be big. He is alive. He's got a player right underneath him, and he drops down to take on the challenge. Pipz with the perfect 2 shot, and then shot to the head with the BR. The ball is just being stagnated. Kills going off left and right. Voltage is trying to get, and he's cleaning up what he can. The scrap time is coming out for Chiefs.
Yeah, really tough for Immunity here. They are making the pushes, but they're not getting the kills, man. They're just not, putting down as much pressure as you'd expect. And Pipz with this Mangler right now picks himself up a double. Like, this is the problem that Immunity is starting to face now, because as you just pointed out, they're just dying. They're just going in, taking these fights and going down. It seems like right now Chiefs have their comms absolutely on point, being able to point out who's on cross shot. And exactly, there's nothing they can do. They're constantly just dying to whatever Chiefs are throwing out at them, and there's no way for them being able to bounce back. The the time bloat there was way too much for them to be able to get control of, and the map control was just nowhere to be seen from Immunity.
Yeah, the timing of the 3 down right at the end. Chiefs knew that it was over. They're just shooting the ground. It doesn't matter. They know it's over. There's no way that Immunity's going to be able to get across the map. But I would say overall, that's a strong start for Immunity. Let's say right at the very start of the game, not so great. But then they picked it up, and they put in a fight. It was not a clean sweep by any means.
Yes and no. Like, that first round sort of showed that they could give Chiefs back what Chiefs was throwing at them, but that second round, like, come on, Hoggy, like, that second round was a huge bloat. That was literally like just a straight up 100-second difference, as you can see, and I think the majority of that came from the second round there. They just weren't able to keep in control as much in the first, and I'm not really sure what broke down at the end there.
Yeah, every time they got a sec up in the second round, you're right, they weren't able to hold it for too long. Damage across the side of the Chiefs, all pretty even. There's no Barcode at the top. Madsy wants to come through, Praties wants to come through, so the damage coming across pretty evenly for the Chiefs. But yeah, the Chiefs still look pretty good. Voltage doing the best he can. He's +5 for his team with 7 assists, so it was a good start for Immunity, in my opinion. If you're asking me, Bluey, they haven't played any tournaments yet, and they barely practiced. I thought it was a good start.
Hoggy, is that just because you love Immunity so much and you've known all
I
the boys
love
on them?
Ogre one.
You've known all the boys on them for so long,
He's
so
my
you're
best
trying
friend.
you're trying not to give them too much flack. You know, like, yes, I will 100% give it to them that first round of Oddball, they did play well. They were strong, but man, oh man, that second round, like, just you could see the cracks in the team and where their difference, between Immunity and Chiefs was more so in their communication and where they knew to set up, where they knew to rotate the ball. So much stronger coming from the Chiefs, and that's exactly the kind of thing that we've come to expect from a team. You know, we mentioned before with Madsy being back on the roster, I always look at Madsy as being such a strong caller in the rest of the team, being able to follow up the rest of the team so well and give them the boost overall, and I think that's coming through and through. You know, if we see that next game, I think that absolutely solidifies that. You know, Madsy's just such a strong foundational fundamental player.
Yeah, and that's a fair point. The fact that the teamwork is probably there more so on the side of the Chiefs due to the lack of practice on the side of Immunity, and I think that favors the team that doesn't have the ball, right? Trying to break a setup is a lot easier when you're more so on the same page. But when you're not on the same page, it's a lot harder to break the setup. And even though Immunity got the ball and they were able to get into setups, it's the teamwork of the Chiefs that allows them to break it so quickly. But we're going into a CTF and, sorry, not a CTF, a Slayer on Aquarius. We'll have to see how Immunity can go against the Slayers of Chiefs, especially Barcode.
Yeah, going to be really tough for them here, I think, because pretty much on every Slayer game, bar, you know, that one particular one last week when they went up against Divine Mind, you know, Chiefs are always strong Slayers. We're so used to seeing that. And for Immunity here, I think they're more seasoned in, like, less of the aggressive play and more of that, like, slower, more controlled pace gameplay that we saw in, like, some of the older Halos. And it might be a thing if they're just having a little bit more difficulty adjusting to players of the caliber of the Chiefs.
Yeah, the side of Immunity not working too well together off the start. They lose the camo. It goes into the hands of Barcode. Free kill for him with the heat wave. Heff's in front of him. He'll make him one shot, chuck a nade up, see if he can get him. Heff calls him out though, and he does get put one shot. He's staying alive. This is exactly what he needs to do. He jumps out and gets the kill on Heff as well. Heff tries to chase him down, and he still has the camo, Bluey. So Chiefs off to a hot start. They're up 6 kills to 2.
Yeah, there's no room for being passive on a map like Aquarius, especially on Slayer, because you're just going to be absolutely battened down like what just happened there. You know, Barcode's just playing aggressive. He had the thruster there, which means that he could be a little bit more lenient with his positioning because he always had the thruster to be able to pull him back into a position that he wanted to be or behind cover where he wanted. So, you know, in those kind of situations, Immunity needs to adapt to those kind of plays and then and integrate them with their own style of gameplay. But I don't think that's something that we've seen they've been able to do here.
Yeah, Barcode goes straight in with the heat wave. He's on a killing spree. His teammates clean up the other 2. It's 3 dead for the side of Immunity. Heff's the last man alive, and he is running as far away as he can from Barcode right now. He does not want to challenge. Ogre 1 though, he challenges him and he takes him down.
It took a cross map though. You know, we remember what we just saw last game with that 1v1 between Ogre 1 and Barcode in that Pipz area on a recharge. Ogre 1 fell like a stack of bricks, man. Hard hit the ground. So it's good for Ogre 1 to be able to get a little bit of a cross map revenge there. But I don't know how often we're going to be seeing that going forward, because we are seeing the score blow out more and more. You know, 8 kills more in the favor of Chiefs right now. And I think because of just how Chiefs are fundamentally as a team, they're going to be able to take that kill lead even further.
Yeah, Praties still doesn't have a kill, but it's 16 kills on the board for the side of Chiefs. Camo in the hands of Barcode for the second time. He challenges Benno. Benno's trying to take him down, but he can't. It's so hard when a player has the camo to get the last shot. Benno can't quite see him. He will jump down. He does back up. Madsy will get a kill, and Barcode is trying to be real sneaky with his camo, but he goes straight into Benno. His teammate helps him out, though, and takes him down. It's 2 dead for immunity. Barcode's pushing in as well. He's going to drop down for the heat wave. He knows it's up on respawn, and he's going to control this weapon. He pushes in, he finds 2. His teammate is right next to him, though. He's going to jump straight back out with the heat wave to take on Voltage, and Heff. Heff jumps out and does take him down, so Heff with the double kill. So good teamwork from immunity. That's what we need to see more of. They're only down by 7.
Yeah, Heff gets a good double kill there and actually manages to get possession of the heat wave, which is essentially the power weapon on this map. I mean, let's be real. But unfortunately from the side, we're seeing, you know, Voltage, he's only got 1 kill. He does have 4 assists, but he's 1 and 5 right now, which is not what you want to see, especially on Slayer Aquarius, because it's really hard to get yourself out of that position. And Heff is just stacking those double kills up 1-to-1 right now. But he does unfortunately go down, which means that he's going to give the heat wave back into the possession of the Chiefs, which may mean that one of the players might just throw that back to Barcode and let him do his thing.
Oh, you do not want it back in the hands of Barcode. We've already seen it, how the game's been going with Barcode having the heat wave in his hands. Ogre one is taken on Barcode, who gets one, and he does trade, so Barcode gets a double. Madsy finds the other in a perfect 4-shot on Heff. The last player is the top of P2. He loops around, he would have got the call out. He can't find him though, and he's back down. Camo's up in 21 seconds. So Chiefs have slowed the game down a little bit. He knows there's a player behind him. He's wary of the player down at P1. He drops down right behind him and gets the 2-shot melee. Voltage was looking around as if he had no idea where he was getting shot from. Camo's about to come up, and Chiefs might be able to get a 3rd camo as they go 10 kills ahead.
You can see Chiefs' positioning there was entirely based around that camo coming up, because obviously that's something that you want to deny immunity getting from. Even with the kill lead that they have, it's still absolutely detrimental to you and your players if someone on the side of immunity manages to get that camo, because that could sort of give a little less leeway to what the score bloat is right now. But that being said, you know, immunity have really struggled right now getting these power-ups, or, you know, like pretty much anything else on the map, whether that be the actual power weapons themselves or any just map control in general. It seems as though they're sort of just being pushed into one corner of the map, being cleaned up, and then they're just being focused on the next corner that they spawn. So really difficult position for immunity to be in right now, and it's tough to break.
Yeah, 2 players down again for the side of immunity. Madsy gets himself a double kill. It's looked like it's just free pickings for the side of the Chiefs. They just run in, and every time they're weak, he gets a killing spree for Barcode. 2 of them down again on the side of immunity. Barcode backs down, stays alive, and Voltage, he's only got 1 kill. He's having a very rough game, boy.
Yeah, very, very tough for Voltage right now. Very hard position to put yourself in as a player, because at that point, you're probably starting to get into this position of they only have 10 kills to go. I'm underperforming. I'm not giving the team, you know, the kind of momentum that we need right now. And it's, you know, it's tough. I keep saying that over and over again, but for immunity right now, they're just sort of beaten down, and the Chiefs probably feel that in like the response that that immunity is giving them. So the Chiefs can just take full advantage of that, because they're such aggressive players all around as a 4. They know that immunity is going to be feeling a little bit weak at the knees. They can just make a push off that and then just wipe 4 again, and then that's even more score bloat. So yeah, you know, pretty much nothing that I think immunity can do here on the map to get control.
Yeah, they're struggling to get the teamwork going. The side of the Chiefs are a very well-practiced roster, but Ogre one will go down. Voltage's getting the shots on from behind him, and his teammate next to him, that's Heff, who goes down as well. Benno's the last man alive, and he's bottom middle. He'll get cleaned up as well. It's only 3 kills for the side of Barcode. Barcode challenges Ogre one. Ogre one takes him down, though. So Chiefs still only 3 kills away. Immunity do manage to get away from the Stake-tacular and get themselves to 31 kills. We're on board with Praties. He takes on Heff. He'll back down, call it out for his teammate. It should get cleaned up. Heff is going to run away, though, and he does manage to get away. Barcode will clean up 1. Heff is still alive as well. 1 shot. There's only 1 kill needed, and there it is. Chiefs take down immunity 2-0, but a great showing from immunity despite the fact that they had to go up against the Chiefs.
Yeah, good stuff for immunity coming there in the first round of that ball game. I'm not too sure about that Slayer game right there, Hoggy. You know, as much as you love those boys, as much as they are your boys and you've known them for so long, man, oh man, like that Slayer game was just them crumbling absolutely under the pressure that the Chiefs give. And, you know, both Barcode and we're seeing Madsy's return. Like, that's tough to go up against, because Madsy performed in both of those games, like, not just in more of a supporting role, but as a main Slayer as well. He was putting damage on the board.
Yeah, and I think it's crazy the fact that we go into a series like this where Immunity, in that first round of the Oddball on Recharge, they looked like they were having a little bit of that extra control. It was getting very, very tight there. The Chiefs had to pull out some special stuff, but it just felt like once the Chiefs got themselves into this kind of rhythm, they were really able to shut out a team like Immunity, and this is the reason why, Hoggy, that the Chiefs have been so dominant in ANZ so far. It feels like they've just got that extra bit of star power, and the way they work together is insane. We talk about Barcode till the cows come home, but everybody on this Chiefs roster is putting in so much work. As Blue did just say, Madsy's putting up some big numbers. Pipz and Praties have just been able to enable a lot of their members on this team to be able to frag out the way they have been, and the Chiefs, they're looking absolutely untouched so far, and maybe Pro Series number 2 might be theirs to take once again.
Yeah, no, definitely. We'll see in these highlights how they had control of most of the power weapons and the camos throughout this game. And for Team Immunity, they couldn't get too much teamwork going. Every time it felt like we were jumping over to a Chiefs player that was shooting someone that was weak, or they had a teammate to help them out. Ogre one manages to take down Praties there, but just the camo and the heat wave control was another thing on top of the fact that the teamwork was just there for the team.
Yeah, and we can really see this across a lot of the, a lot of the game types and a lot of the maps that we've seen so far here, Bluey, is it's all about a lot of these objective controls. Yeah, albeit you still have to try and get the points on the board, but teams that are able to control the camo, control the heat wave, control the snipes, control whatever is on these maps, they're the ones that are able to have the freer time, and this is where you really go to, kind of separate these teams that are in that 5th, 6th kind of slot to the teams that are at the top of ANZ right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, I want to point out, I think it was about halfway through the game, the Chiefs just made a full man setup up top mid just because they knew that camo was coming up in 20 seconds. Like, that's what they were playing around. That was their goal, and that the Slays were just everything else under that. It wasn't so much about getting the kills at that point. It was like, oh, we need camo to enable these kills, which is like a team at this point, that's exactly how they should be playing. That's exactly what they should be focusing on.